Tucked away in the deep blues of the Mediterranean are islands that don't shout. They whisper. Far from the crowds, these hidden Greek gems invite you to slow down, look closer, and feel something deeper. Each one tells a story, not just through ruins or legends, but in light, silence, and the way time seems to pause. Our journey begins in Kythira, perched where the Ionian and Aegean seas meet. This island has long defied categorization, belonging politically to the Ionian Islands, but culturally tied to Crete, the Peloponnese, and Venice. Kythira is the mythical birthplace of Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, said to have risen from the sea foam here. Winding roads lead to deserted beaches, olive groves, and tiny chapels perched on cliffs. The Venetian castle of Chora, built in the 13th century, watches over the capital, a silent guardian of centuries past. From up here, the rooftops glow against the Aegean blue, and on quiet days, you can hear the wind telling old stories. Down below, the twin bays of Kapsali curl around the shoreline like a secret being kept. Over on the eastern coast, Avlamonas is the kind of place you stumble upon and quietly hope no one else finds. A tiny seaside village where time drifts by, wave by wave. There's a small Venetian fortress and streets that open suddenly to turquoise coves. Just beyond is Paleopoli Beach, a wide stretch of coast where legend says Aphrodite first stepped ashore. The sea here is deep and ancient, and the cliffs behind you feel like they've seen it all. Kythira doesn't chase attention. It invites you to slow down, look closer, and maybe feel something you didn't expect. From the Ionian, we sail east, just off the coast of Rhodes, where Symi rises from the water in watercolor tones. As the ferry glides into Gialos, you're met by a curve of neoclassical homes, pink, peach, and ochre, stacked like a daydream along the bay. These aren't ruins of the past. They're preserved homes of sponge divers, ship owners, and sea captains. People who built their fortunes when Symi thrived on the sponge trade. Today, life on Symi is quieter, slower. Locals gather in the shade, playing backgammon outside shops, conversation rising and falling like waves. The island seems to breathe in a different rhythm. Climb the Kali Strata, the stone staircase connecting the harbour to the old town. Horio. It's 500 steps, each one a passage into another time. At the top, the streets grow narrow and quiet. Colourful doors, old chapels, and glimpses of the Aegean. It feels lived in, but unspoiled, as if the island remembers itself clearly. In the south of Symi, the monastery of Archangel Michael Panomitis rests at the edge of the sea. Its bell tower casts long reflections on the bay, and for centuries it's been a place of pilgrimage. Symi isn't about activities or checklists. It's about light on stone, silence that speaks, and the feeling of arriving somewhere that doesn't need to prove anything. A place that lets you slow down, notice the breeze, and remember what unhurried days feel like. From pastel harbours to bare cliffs, the next stop is Folegandros, often called the quiet cousin of Santorini. This is a cliffside island where everything feels just a little more still. It's small, about 12 kilometers end to end, but its landscape is bold. The main village, Chora, sits right on the edge of a cliff, 200 meters above the sea. From up there, the view seems to stretch forever. The streets are car-free, lined with whitewashed homes, bright blue shutters, and splashes of bougainvillea. There's a sense of calm that's hard to explain, until you take the stone path that winds up to the church of Panagia. It's perched above the village, with sweeping views of the Aegean. At sunset, the whole island glows. Folegandros has a quiet history. It was once used as a place of exile, but now that same isolation feels like a gift. Less cruise ships, no big crowds, just cliffs, sea, and silence. On the southern coast, Kythira Beach is one of the island's hidden corners. You can only reach it by boat or on foot. The sea there is clear and deep turquoise, with nothing but sand, rock, and open space. Folegandros isn't for ticking off sights. It's for slowing down, taking in the views, and letting the island unfold at its own pace. From the Aegean, we return to the Ionian, where Ithaca lies quietly, waiting. In Homer's epic, Ithaca is the destination, the home Odysseus longs to return to. And when you see it today, it's easy to understand why. Surrounded by the turquoise waters of the Ionian Sea, Ithaca is green, quiet, and deeply peaceful. A place where time seems to pause. The island's coastline is dotted with hidden bays like Gidaki and Aphales, where the water is so clear it feels unreal. Yachts sway gently in calm harbours. Fishing boats rest along the shore. And in the hills, goats still graze under olive trees. The capital, Vathi, wraps around a natural bay like a postcard. Stone houses, narrow streets, and a line of sailing masts along the water. Chione, in the north, is just as picturesque, its harbour filled with boats and quiet charm. Ithaca doesn't call out for attention. It offers a kind of beauty you have to slow down to notice. And that might be its greatest gift. Our journey ends on Amorgos, an island of striking contrasts, sheer cliffs, deep blue waters, and whitewashed calm. It's known for its role in the Big Blue, but Amorgos feels cinematic even without the credits. High above the sea, the Kythira is a maze of white houses, old windmills, and quiet squares. It's one of the most picturesque in the Cyclades. In a world of fast travel and crowded hotspots, these islands remain untouched corners of quiet beauty. Kythira, Symi, Folegandros, Ithaca, and Amorgos. 5 names you may not hear often, but once visited, never forgotten.